Hello, hello. Much better now. So, clean camera and better. So, good morning. I literally just got up having my coffee, and I haven't done a Burly Talk in a while. So, I decided to do it today. Um, and just cleaning the coffee from my table because I had the most amazing day yesterday, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. Um, and there is pretty much two things I would like to share with you. So the first thing is yesterday I just had the very first marshmallow show, which is the show I'm producing now for my students. It's kind of their first step towards going on stage, on like bigger stages. And I I had an idea and a vision, and I decided to produce the show, and I found a beautiful location, and I did. And yesterday it was really a blast. Not only was the audience awesome, my girls were awesome too. I think I was like two tickets from selling out, which was really, really nice. For a very first show, I was so impressed with how well it was received. So it was really a blast. And if you are busy like me, you know that our tendency is to go and jump into the next thing. And honestly, many of us don't have the time to stop. So, because the show was amazing yesterday, it's not like I can simply, okay, so for the next 10 days, I'm just gonna do anything, just chill and celebrate, and then go for the next thing. Um, my life is way busier than that. There is no way I can do it. However, the whole process of assessing and recalibrating and debriefing, is very important regardless. So, what I do, and if you do have more time and if you do have the chance to, whenever you achieve something, whenever you're really happy about a milestone, stop and think, okay, let's celebrate, let's see how you went, and then take a few days. That's awesome. Do it. However, if you're busy like me, I'll give you my hints on how I do that while already working on the next thing because my calendar doesn't stop. And this is one thing I want to talk about. And another thing is one thing that I noticed yesterday. So it will come during the process. So, first thing is celebrate, so I kind of start almost right away, so I always have my little champagne on the day. Show is over, we have after party, I have my cup, my glass of champagne. So that's one thing. So celebrate and realize when it's the time to um, set as done and well done. So if it's a test or something like that, it could also be after you've done the test, okay, let's relax. And of course, I love glam and champagne. So for me, it's champagne. But you could have definitely celebrated with your favorite coffee drink or tea drink. And then I suggest really sleeping on it. So I like to have the time, especially for me, a lot of it has to do with shows or festivals or milestones with the business. So I like to rest first. So I need a little time to chill and kind of wind down first before I move my needle. And then today's the next morning. So that's why I call it the day after. And then my process is so first, celebrate. So it could be anything. Um, I know it's pretty hard for some people. It might be just like for me, because I kind of celebrate all the time, a lot of things, and I like to indulge. but it could be something really special. So it's very difficult because I don't hold anything back from myself. However, some things are a bit, that little thing that's a little off the grids for you. So the little thing you're like, I really want that, but it's a little above my budget, or I want to do that thing, but I shouldn't because I don't have the little thing. That's the one thing that I'm gonna go for. So I got myself a gift. It's arriving tomorrow. And that's my gift to celebrate. And what is really cool about those things is it could be like a massage, it could be a trip. It doesn't matter how small or big your accomplishment is, or how small and big you want your prize to be. But I like actually giving myself things because I like to remember how they came. So I'll remember that thing that I ordered, and maybe in years to come, I'll remember, oh, well, yeah, I got that to celebrate that thing. Like kind of a wedding dress, probably, or a prom dress, something that you have that reminds you of that moment. And that's beautiful. So, and it could be small, you could always have maybe a habit of having an object, or a stamp, or getting yourself something. It could be small, it could be you could create, and that's actually a pretty good idea. I might do something like that to the future. I just thought of that. It could be maybe you have a frame and then you start collecting little something, a little flower. No, it doesn't even have to cost anything, but that will serve as a reminder, for what you've accomplished. And can you imagine that if you give yourself a little flower, or if you give yourself a little stamp, a little beautiful sticker or something on that beautiful grid and frame every time you reach something you really wanted, or you've accomplished something, how beautiful is it going to be when you look back, So that's first thing I do the day after. Well, not the first thing I do, but it's something that I do the day after. I find a way to gift myself somehow so that I can remember that afterwards. Then that has to do with the gratitude. So I like to say aloud, and either I record. If you are a person who likes to write, sometimes I do too. I just write down kind of a little blog post, or you can even journal, kind of a debriefing for yourself. So, um, and I would like you to focus, and that's what I do, on gratitude first. So, everyone who was involved, because chances are that there were other people involved, even if passively sometimes. If you were studying for a test, for example, it could have been that friends wanted to go out with you, or that a partner or family, had to um, make sure that you had space to study, and all the people that supported you somehow. So I like to feel very grateful, and if I can, I even write that publicly if there is a chance to do so. Um, so people know that they are appreciated, and you also have that warm feeling. And I really believe that when you are grateful for your present and your past, that helps in your future. Um, Mostly, so I always give people two explanations because we are different, and some people prefer one way, some people prefer the other, and I'm fine with both. Actually, I see both very well, very well. And so it's either, if you're more into like woohoo, you are signing, like signalizing, signing. Well, you're telling the universe that whatever it gives you, you're gonna appreciate. So that brings more. If you're not into that, it's all about the chemicals in your brain that are telling you how happy you are. And the happier you are, the happier you're gonna see things. Because remember, everything is perspective and point of view. We talked a little about facts, So if the day is raining and you have this good chemicals happen in your brain. It's gonna be like, oh, that's good. The earth really needs, refreshment, and it's purifying, and the flowers will get some water. But on the other hand, if you are negative, what you're gonna think is, oh, that's such a shitty day, you know? So the fact is the same, but whatever is going on with the chemicals in our body affect our brain and the way we see things. Gift, we did journaling, gratitude, appreciation. Then we move on to a more, I want to say, technical, hands on approach. We assess, you know. So then you can move on to thinking what worked well, what didn't work well, and especially if it's a process you're going to repeat. And so for me, for the show, I'll think about, oh yeah, so this was good. I could have thought of that. So for next time, I'll make sure it happens. And I would love for it to be as much as you can without judgment. So yeah, just really, what is the thing is, there will always be another chance for things. Maybe not the way you think. And everything is a learning process, and we are getting to the point that I wanted to get. So for example, one thing that I realized is I could have brought flyers for the other next show. And I didn't think of that. But now I'm like, yeah, that would have been such a good idea. And I'm like, okay. And I have two choices here, right? I can either just be kind of mean to myself and think, I can't believe after all this time, I've been doing that for a while now, I couldn't think of that. Or I can be kinder, and then be like, well, now I learned. So, well, for the next show, I will do that for sure. And it will be awesome, because then people come to the show, they come to the other show. So already kind of promote the show. Lesson learned. So do take the time to assess those things and don't be judgmental. It's really factual sheet, you know? And that's a way you can do better. If, for example, if I only did the assessment, I don't know, 10 shows in, then I could be more like, well, if I had done that for my first show, then probably I would have noticed and done it better today. So it is a process that I recommend starting as early as you can. So I'm starting on this first show for this, but I do that for a lot of things. And I suggest to apply that to anything you accomplish in your life, especially things that might repeat. Or also, this assessment sheet or something, whatever you use, can help you for other things because many skills are transferable, in fact. Um, Meaning, if I do this now, even if I never produce the show afterwards, anytime event, I could think of that. Anytime I coached someone doing this, I could tell them that. So you can always use those lessons for other things in your life. And you can use the skills because you gain skills by doing anything. Then assessment, and of course, rinse and repeat. So whatever went well, you want to make sure it happens again. Whatever can be done better, you make sure it goes better next time, or at least you know. I work with people, so I like to make sure that they can also voice their opinions. So tomorrow I'm doing a kind of debriefing, with my students who are at the show. If it's something that other people were involved, I recommend doing the same. So getting maybe their feedback, and again, very factual, and looking for the things that matter and that can be done. Um, Two things are important. Be careful with this. First thing is you need certain maturity when asking for feedback, because you have to understand what are things. You kind of almost have to translate what people are saying. Some things are might be related to you, and some things might be related to something you have no control of. And the most important thing is to listen, and then you do the assessment of that later. Don't, I wouldn't say, it's not really something, okay, I'll let people speak and then I'll defend myself. It's nothing like that. It's really listen to what they have to say, acknowledge, and then filter and translate it to using your own experience and knowledge so that it makes sense to you and so that it's feasible. Sometimes, one thing that I noticed being in business for a while now is sometimes people want things or they think they want things, but actually, no. But it takes a little maturity to get there. And in fact, I realize that. And what I say is do the best that you can, because this is another thing that comes with experience. So the more that you do, the better you're going to get at it. So don't get discouraged. It's harder first, it gets better afterwards. So go for it and learn with the experience. Most important, always remember to listen, listen, listen. If you need, take notes and then reassess. Don't take everything people say, because there is no way you can do that, you know? And that's really not what they mean. So if there is other people involved, you can ask for feedback. And also, that's optional too. If you were really good at what you do and you're the like top specialist and really don't care what people have to say, don't go for it. Just listen to your own opinion. It's totally fine. You know what's best for yourself. Um, Next comes the I would say what I wanted to come also with this live, which is in your list of things, whether coming from feedback or from your own assessment. I would like you to include, if you can, things that happened during the day or things that happened before or during the event that might not have been perfect or might have triggered you a little. And I really want you to pay attention to those things because there is gold there. And I think this is really, if there is anything you take from this video, this is the golden nugget. I'm just looking at the time because I really want to make a timestamp there. Things that happen that make you a little, so of course, I'm not talking about disasters, emergencies, or anything. Things that happen on a day that displease you or trigger you a little, or even maybe a lot. Things that you wish were a little different. They are probably your biggest lessons for whatever it is. And in my point of view, is what's gonna really help you level up. And whether you believe in universe or whatever, it's a way of being ready for what comes next. Chances are, whatever you're doing, if you're starting something new, you're not a specialist yet. You are doing things for the first time. And bigger things will come if you like and continue the path you are walking. You start small and then it grows, right? Just like when we go to school, they start us with something smaller and then it gets bigger. So, um, what I want to say is those things, I would like you to look at them and really, not really, I think assess is actually the word, but kind of weigh them, as in, is it part of something that's trying to teach me something? Can I learn something from it? What can I learn? Or how can I avoid this and how can I cut it off? So there is that moment in which you have to make this choice. For example, and I'll give an example because it might be very abstract what I'm saying. Um, Yesterday was the show day, and for some reason, I won't say literally, but I'll say almost literally, everything else happened. So students decided to email. Other people that I know decided that they wanted dancers for things and were contacting me. Other people who are doing events decided that, oh yeah, I need people, and then I'm contacting Bunny today about it. And there were forms I had to fill out. They decided to arrive yesterday. There were people in my family who were telling me news about things that I don't talk to them that often, but they decided they wanted to talk to me yesterday. And I had to reply and make decisions while having to be present during doing what I was there to do. And I'll be very honest with you. At very first, I was a little annoyed because it's like, come on, people, today. And and even though I was annoyed because I know what I'm talking to you about now, I was at the same time quite excited because I had an uneventful Monday. Today's Thursday. The show was yesterday on Wednesday. Uneventful Tuesday. Very chill Sunday. I had the chill Saturday. Even on Tuesday I was on my own doing stuff for the show, of course, but like my phone was pretty much dead. And then everything happens on that day. The day I knew I was going to be busy. The day I knew I was going to be busy 3 months ago. So, and then again, you have two options, right? And my first was like, I'm a little annoyed, but I know this is good. Because honestly, do I want to be in a lake watching the wall paint dry? No, I like that. I want this excitement. I want all those things happening. And more in my life, I'm going to be doing this. So we were just on summer break, and that's why it was kind of chill. But now it's at least one show per month. And I have other things coming up. And I'm sure that you can relate somehow, even if you're not a performer, if something else. But if you're a performer, you can probably relate to times during the year in which, it goes up and down. And I was like, you know what? Life is not gonna wait for me to be on a free day and then everything's gonna happen, right? There is no way this is gonna happen. Actually, what's happening here right now, right in front of my eyes, is I am getting prepared for what is to come. Full calendar doesn't mean other people will not have other things to ask. And actually, your calendar is full because of those things. And that's freaking awesome. So I took a deep breath and I did run a lot, but I managed to do everything, of course. I replied to everybody, and whatever I couldn't do on the day, I was like, okay, I'll get back to you. And I feel amazing. And whatever it is for you. So actually, I could do that on spot because I know those things. I've been working on my mindset for years, and that's why I do these videos, because I have so much to share. I I've come a long way. If you're not, like I was starting on that, if it doesn't matter where you are on your path, if this resonates with you, um, start doing that after. If you have never done that, if you just can't see beyond what's happening to you at the moment it's happening to you, um, start doing after, and then bring it back. So, everything is practice. Everything is practice. So, little by little, as you do that, you're going to start to get quicker at realizing those moments. And my trust is that whatever happens, I'll make the best of it. So, actually, I have a pretty good outlook on oh my god, I missed this bus, or this I missed my flight or something, and it wasn't even my fault. I really believe that, well, it's because the next flight that I will take is going to be much better. I really have this feeling. So I'm pretty chill. I think that's what makes me so chill. And I'm very good at noticing things on the spot. So yeah, this is actually one of the main points I wanted to tell you. What is it that's happening to you either right now or that happened to you at a certain point that prepared you for what is to come? Like the butterfly. So I heard that on a YouTube channel. And she said, the butterfly has to really struggle to come out of the cocoon. And if this process is helped by someone else, the wings don't fully develop, and then the butterfly cannot fly or has a faulty wing or whatever. And the struggle helps them really get into that powerful, beautiful position to become what they're supposed to be. And I really believe that works really well with reality in life. So it's the same thing. If I don't struggle a little bit with replying and doing things at kind of at the same time, or at least knowing how to deal with that. I'm not saying that you have to do what I did. It could be that, okay, whenever there is a day like this, I'm off and I'm only replying to people the next day. That could also be a solution. It's not a solution that I like to pick. It might be in the future, who knows? I always like to leave myself as many options as I want. But for now, I decided that I can do both. Whatever you decide, make a decision and use it. And then you're going to see how things actually flow. Because even if it was something that annoyed you before or triggered you before, you have a structure, you have a plan, and you know what it is for. It's going to make your life so much better. So I know that this little struggle is preparing me for the future. What about when, and I'm here, at home, what about when I'm in a festival in another country, trying to solve something for my business here where I live, and I'm not even here? I have to use my resources, and I have to contact people, and I have to count on my network. So I know that this is preparing me for something better. I really know it. So it makes me really happy. So that's it. And what I wanted to tell you is, again, I dilute this because there is no way, and I'm totally fine with that I can just take the next days off and, do the assessment. Da-da-da. I dilute it. So, for example, I really wanted to do this video. So that was my thing number one. And I will do all of those things little by little every other day. Oh, sorry, all of the other days of this week. So today I'm doing one thing. If I get the chance, I will do maybe a second thing. Tomorrow I'll do another thing. And then maybe Saturday and Sunday I'll do. And then, like, on Sunday, I'll be ready with this the day after ritual, which is the days after ritual for me. So that's it. It's quite a long one, but I hope it's really helpful. And see you again for a future Burly Talk. And have a lovely one.